We're joined right now by former EPA White House liaison, Dan Kanninen. Thank you so much, Dan. You were instrumental in responding to the BP Deep Horizon oil spill back in 2010. In terms of environmental concerns, to see dignitaries coming in and cheering over glasses of tap water, what are the optics there? Is tap water even affected? With something that happens like this, would it take some time to know exactly what the dangers are?
Well, I do think it's important that you give the space and the opportunity for those in the ground testing the soil and the water to consistently work with the state regulators, with the Ohio EPA, with the U.S. EPA to monitor consistently that water quality. It's not a binary or a moment in time where it's now done, it's now safe. It is a consistent application of those tests to ensure that water remains safe to drink. I agree that one of the most important things you can do in this situation is to be very transparent, to be overly communicative with the public. There's a lot of information and misinformation that swirls around events like these. And the most important thing, and it's a complicated and hard job the government has, but the most important thing is you have the state, you have the EPA, you have the Ohio EPA, you have other agencies at play working together to project a simple and consistent and clear and transparent message, even if it is bad news from time to time, is really important. You got to work hard to regain and earn that trust of the community. I think looking at Administrator Regan from the EPA and Governor DeWine drinking that tap water is a symbol and a sign that they are growing in confidence in terms of that water quality. That's good. But should there be findings to the contrary, they should be published immediately and disseminated immediately. And I think EPA is committed to doing that based on the sort of science-based approach they take in these situations.
How does the EPA walk the line through that thorough water and soil testing in conjunction with the Norfolk Southern, the railway company? But also, doesn't this story have the potential to be overreacted to? I mean, especially in light of what we've gone through over the past few years, we're not all scientists. We can see a sheen in the water. We can see a plume of smoke above this town. We don't want to minimize that in any way. But, I mean, really, there's a tightrope that government officials have to walk here, correct?
100%. I mean, in the 2010 BP Horizon disaster in the Gulf, there were all kinds of interested parties who I think with very good intentions wanted to weigh in, conduct private testing, bring private technologies that were probably still yet to be proven into the conversation. That's natural. Folks want to help. They want to engage. They see something that really is shocking and tragic, and they want to take action. That stuff can be really complicated to the message and make it really hard to communicate with the public about what's real, what's proper, how you do this in a calm and orderly but urgent still way. And that is a more difficult job for the government today than it was even 10, 12 years ago because of the proliferation of social media, because it's so easy for disinformation and misinformation to spread around from all kinds of parties across the spectrum. I think it's a tough job. One thing that EPA will have to do, and I think this is really important for people to understand, it's not just the testing. The testing is very important, obviously, but what they will do under CERCLA, which is a very powerful law the administrator is using at EPA to hold the company accountable, they will enforce the company's requirement to be present in the community and give information directly to the community when they didn't before, you may remember. And secondly, they will force them to identify and clean up all the contaminated soil and have an action plan to do that. EPA will review the plan. They will actually have to approve the plan. And then step by step, and I mean step by step, hundreds of steps, they will have to take. EPA will sit with them on that plan. If they deviate at all from that plan, Norfolk Southern, EPA then takes over and they charge the company 3 times the cost of the cleanup.
Wow.
It's a powerful accountability tool. It's one of the most powerful abilities the government has to force companies to be accountable to the population. I'm really glad that EPA is doing that and using that tool in this instance because it will help over time ensure this is dealt with properly.
Dan Kanninen, thank you for joining us here on Morning in America.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.